Hello everyone. Today our topic is from Chinglish to Global Englishes, online reactions to Chinese celebrities English pronunciation on Renault. These are our group members. First, we will start with introduction. The globalization of English has contributed to the rise of diverse local varieties, reshaping linguistic norms and challenging the dominance of inner circle English standards. In China, the widespread learning and use of English has led to the development of the China English, a localized variety shaped by the phonological and prosodic features of Mandarin Chinese. Although global English's frameworks promote acceptance of such variation, public attitudes toward English pronunciation remain conflicted, oscillating between inclusivity and adherence to native speaker norms. This study explores these tensions by analyzing how the English pronunciation of Chinese celebrities produced and perceived in online discourse. Drawing on Lambert et al.'s 1960 foundational work on language attitudes and identity, the research examines both the phonological features evident in the English spoken by three well-known Chinese celebrities and the public reactions to their performances on the social media platform called Renault. While some online users express tolerance or even pride in accented English as a marker of linguistic diversity, others criticize these performances for deviating from standard norms, often using the label Chinglish in a derogatory sense. By focusing on the intersection of pronunciation, identity, and public discourse, this study contributes to a broader understanding of how language ideologies are negotiated in digital spaces. It offers insights into the sociolinguistic dynamics that shape perceptions of English in contemporary China. For our study, we our study is guided by the two research questions. The first one is what pronunciation features are found in the English spoken by selected Chinese celebrities, and how do they reflect common issues among Chinese learners? And the second one is how do online audiences respond to these pronunciations, and what do their views suggest about dominant English norms in China? Next to literature review part.
Okay, now is the literature review part, and the first title is Language Attitudes in the Digital Context, and the Lambert et al. 1960 laid the foundation for understanding language-based stereotypes by highlighting the role of accent in shaping perceptions of identity, and subsequent research confirmed that non-native or non-standard accents are frequently linked to negative social evaluations and influencing the judgments of speakers' intelligence or competence. And with the rise of digital communication, accents attitudes are increasingly expressed online. And Qing and Harry 2024 studying users' responses on Bilibili, and they found that the pronunciation errors often triggered negative evaluations. And their findings suggest that social media not only mirrors but also reinforces dominant language ideologies. So against this backdrop, the current study investigates how online audiences evaluate celebrities' English accents and what these attitudes reveal about the broader ideological stances towards Chinglish and linguistic legitimacy. And next is English in China and ideology in Chinglish. The concept of New Chinglish introduced by Li 2016 describes an emerging hybrid English used by younger Chinese speakers, particularly on digital platforms. While the scholars like Xu and Zhang 2021 note its creative fusion of Chinese and English elements, and many Chinese learners still view such usage as substandard. And also studies have shown that native speaker pronunciation, especially from inner circle countries, remains a strong no and reflecting the persistent linguist hierarchies. And these contradictions between actual linguistic practice and perceived ideals set the stage for analyzing the public reactions to acetate English in the digital sphere. And to consider its English celebrity and public image, China's entertainment industry plays a key role in projecting national soft power, and the celebrities increasingly serve as cultural representatives on global stages. So research on Korean idols from the Park 2023 reviews how English pronunciation influences public perceptions of professionalism and international appeal. And idols users, they found that idols using inner circle English accents were perceived as more global, while non-standard accents were often criticized. So this underscores how accent intersects with power, identity, and cultural capital. However, similar research in Chinese context remains limited. So this study addresses this gap by examining how Chinese celebrities' English pronunciations is evaluated online and what this reveals about accent ideologies in contemporary China. And that's all about the literature review part.
I will introduce the methodology part. To collect our data, we searched Red Note using the following keywords. And these keywords were identified from the frequently using phrase in the online discussion about celebrities' pronunciation. After searching, we sorted the videos by the number of comments and picked the top 3 with most engagement. Here are the screenshots of the 3 videos. And we use both qualitative and quantitative way to analyze. At first, we transcribed the English-speaking part of the videos using Jefferson's transcription system, and we looked closely at the pronunciation part, tried to find some pronunciation features of the 3 celebrities. And for the quantitative analysis, we collected all the comments, about over 2,000 comments in total, and imported them into Navivo. And here is a screenshot of all the data we collected. And we would use the tool to analyze this according to the themes. And we found over 1,000 comments are positive, and about 500 are negative, and the rest of them are irrelevant to English or the celebrity's pronunciation. So we would not analyze this data. And we also considered about the ethical issue. All the data we used came from public available posts and videos on Red Note. We didn't collect any personal information. We followed Red Note terms of services. And for the analysis, we first analyzed their pronunciation features. Here is a transcript of the first video. After watching the videos several times, we identified the following issues. The first is there are some grammar problems here, and the carrying should be carry as it was after infinitive phrase, and exciting should be excited to express personal feelings. Also, on the pronunciation side, we found some issues about stress. Words like truly or torchbear represent and country all get the same stress on the syllables, but we know that English is stress timed. Some syllables would be stronger than others. So without such a contrast, the rhythm would found flat or unnatural, and these characters were aligned with the previous findings. Besides, here is also segmental issues. She said torch was much more like torch, but when it pronounced the same words in another word, torch area, she pronounced it correctly, so we guess it would be a one-time slip. And here is the second video and its transcript. One of the most obvious things here is that it's monotone delivery. The intonation was very flat, with hardly any pitch change. Since English would use pitch to show emotion and meanings, this makes her sound a little bit robotic. According to some previous studies, it could be influenced by its first language, Mandarin. And just like the first celebrity's video, she also gave equal stress to every syllable in words, like in 2019 and performance. Also, in the segment level, here are some vowel issues. A has been pronounced like A, and A has been pronounced like A in the words dance. And these features were also constant with previous findings. Well, here are some issues about consonant, and words has been pronounced like words, and Asian has been pronounced like Asian. So, and all these segment issues were constant with previous findings. Here is the third one, and its transcript is here. And we also identified some intonation issues and stress issues, just like the previous 2 videos. And in the segment level, we can find that sense has been pronounced like sings, and leave has been pronounced much more like leave. And all of these issues also consistent with previous studies' findings. So we would conclude that among the 3 celebrities, we found some similar issues, like a rather robotic intonation, equal stress, and some voice and consonant change. And these patterns match what earlier studies have found among the Chinese English learner. It's likely these are influenced by their first language Mandarin, which does not rely on stress and intonation the way just like English has. In Mandarin, pitch mainly marks word meaning, no emotional or sentence structures. So it makes sense that when the speakers switch to English, they mostly carry over the same prosody styles without some variation in tones or the length of vowel. And when we analyze the comment, we first analyze this positive one. These positive attitudes have been divided into two themes. The first theme were all about their accents are normal and acceptable, and it reflects that the public can accept their speaking English, and many other people also compared Chinese English to other countries speak English with their own local features. Like people from Thailand, Japan, or Korea, and India, they all have accent when speaking English. So we can find that these views reflect a broader recognition that English could have some local characters. And the other theme in the positive view that their pronunciation is acceptable, although there might be some change when compared with the native-like intonation, but these public or these views say that it were all acceptable. And for the negative comments, it's like about 500. It all seem like the celebrities should focus on their pronunciation issues and need some improvement. We can see that these comments reflect a preference for more standard or native-like pronunciation, and would associate Chinese accented English with a lack of proficiency. And for the irrelevant attitudes, we would not include it into our analysis. So in conclusion, the comments under this video suggest that most viewers do not rigidly hold the inner circle English norms just like before. Instead, many express an openness to English varieties influenced by the local features, which partially would support the idea of global English. However, there are also some people still hold that they would prefer standard or native-like pronunciation, indicating that the ideology of standard English still have some influence. And for conclusion, we will say that this study we look at 3 celebrities' pronunciation and their English. We also analyzed the public response to their English pronunciation, and we can find that despite some individual changes of personal issues, like the first celebrities, the majority of their pronunciation features were aligned with the findings of previous studies about the features of Chinese learners' English. And these features can include insufficient stress and reduced pitch variation and segmental substitution. For the comments, we can say that more people would acceptable and show inclusive attitude to English varieties. A large number of users express acceptance to the accent English, acknowledging that English as a global English can carry some localized features shared by the speaker's background. This kind of openness might be influenced by an increasing exposure to digital media, and this comment reflects a growing recognition of global English and challenging the once dominant ideology that we should stick to the native-like pronunciation. Although there are still some audience uphold the native standard. So we can say that this tension between the standard and diversity reflect the current transitional phase in global English thought, while global English are gaining attention and the inner circle norms still have some influence in public ideas. So, and these were all our conclusion. And for limitation, we admit that the scope of our analysis were confined to only 3 videos, and their comments are at note. This sample may not fully capture the diversity of ideas across the different people. So the following studies can study much more videos and much more comments, and these data will primarily feature celebrities who have not received any language training. So, and the audience may also be influenced by their personal biases. So we suggest that further studies could investigate much more people and to investigate their thought about global English. That's all, and thank you.